Here's the deal, man. He said he was going looking for this place that didn't exist. That's what he kept saying. I don't know. It sounds crazy. I know this all sounds crazy, and you probably fucking think I'm nuts.
No, not at all.
He just couldn't let it go, you know? Jeremy was like one of those people that when he put his mind to something, he wouldn't stop. He was full fucking bore, and this was one of those things. I mean, I didn't want to believe him at first. At all. I thought he was going nuts. I thought he was losing his fucking mind. It wasn't a good look, you know? But then, I don't know. He convinced me somehow.
Convinced you of what?
That whatever he was looking for was real. And for whatever reason, it wasn't on any map. No fucking maps anywhere. This place.
What place?
An island. In the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
Previously, on the island in the Pacific.
This is the last contact and last time we have heard from Jeremy. This was on July 13th, 2024.
I found a guy who's going to take me there. We're actually going to be heading out right now.
There is a lot of vagueness here, and we need to start drilling down. So first things first, I need to talk to Sadie Mattox.
Hi, is this Sadie?
It is. Who's this?
The other photo is a selfie of Jeremy. What I do know is that if I want to find Jeremy, I need to identify and locate that man he was with. I'm going to find my old friend.
My name is Kathleen Goldstein. I am an investigative journalist. And this is The Island in the Pacific. Episode 2, Rumors of the Island. At this point, Matthew is getting ready to travel to San Diego to meet with Sadie Mattox, Jeremy Wilson's fiancé. The conversations that they have are, to put it simply, stunning. Even somewhat hard to believe. But, as any great investigative journalist would do, Matthew carries forward, analyzing the information he's been given, not picking sides, not judging. In my opinion, he does a superb job at gathering all the necessary pieces of information that he possibly can from Sadie. And as Sadie explains, the local authorities haven't given her much help with finding Jeremy's whereabouts, nor have the Mexican government. She knows Matthew is maybe all she has at this point to help find her fiancé, Jeremy Wilson.
Saturday, August 17th, 2024. I just arrived in San Diego, and these are the moments when I question why I still live in Missouri. It's 8:47 a.m. and 71 degrees out. Full sun, San Diego style. Lovely. Just lovely. I'll be picking up a rental car here shortly, and we'll need to burn some time before I can check into my hotel. I'll be meeting Sadie this evening, so it gives me a little time to get set up and review some things. What I need to ask her. I'm gonna give her a quick call to let her know I'm here and to confirm our meeting for tonight.
Hello?
Sadie, it's Matthew. I want to let you know that I just arrived in San Diego.
Okay, cool. Glad you're here.
Yeah, I'm about to pick up my rental car at the airport. You still good for this evening?
Yeah. I'll text you the address, 6 p.m. I think we said.
Perfect, yeah, 6 p.m. Listen, Sadie, I'm just dying to know a couple things that seem kind of urgent. I want to be able to help here, so the more info I have, the better this might go. If you're willing to discuss some things now.
Okay.
I know you were a little hesitant about talking over the phone with me yesterday.
No, man, it's just, I never talked with you before, and I wasn't sure what I was comfortable talking about. Shit, I admit it. I looked you up, make sure you were who you say you are, you know?
Right, I get it.
So, it's cool. I mean, obviously we're meeting up later, and we'll talk in detail, but it's fine. I'm here to help.
Okay, great. Listen, you were hesitant to tell me why Jeremy was in Mexico. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, I mean, he was meeting someone, this ex-military guy. They were meeting up in Tijuana. This guy was apparently going to take Jeremy to meet someone who had information about a place Jeremy was looking for. A way to get him there.
Is Jeremy active, still in the Navy, or retired?
He's active. I mean, there's some medical things that came up which forced him onto the sidelines for a little bit, but all that happened about 2 months before he went missing.
Can you say what the medical issues were?
Probably not comfortable speaking about that. That's his private medical history.
Got it. Yeah, I understand. So, listen, back to this place that Jeremy was looking for. Can you tell me more about that?
I don't want you to think I'm being coy about this. I know how it sounds. And no, Jeremy wasn't involved with drugs or anything like that. He wasn't muling for the cartel or some shit. That wasn't Jeremy. And that's what everyone thinks when I bring up Mexico. That's not it.
Okay.
Here's the deal, man. He said he was going looking for this place that didn't exist. That's what he kept saying. I don't know. It sounds crazy. I know this all sounds crazy, and you probably fucking think I'm nuts.
No, not at all.
He just couldn't let it go, you know? Jeremy was like one of those people that when he put his mind to something, he wouldn't stop. He was full fucking bore, and this was one of those things. I mean, I didn't want to believe him at first. At all. I thought he was going nuts. I thought he was losing his fucking mind. It wasn't a good look, you know? But then, I don't know. He convinced me somehow.
Convinced you of what?
That whatever he was looking for was real. And for whatever reason, it wasn't on any map. No fucking maps anywhere. This place.
What place?
An island. In the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
Wait, what do you mean it's not on any maps?
That's what I mean. He showed me. He has the coordinates. He showed me on Google Maps. He showed me on some physical maps. He even showed me on some military maps that he had. It's not there. Nothing. Blue fucking water. That's it.
Why did Jeremy think this place existed? What's the backstory there?
So Jeremy was flying a mission a few months back. They were stationed on an aircraft carrier, like somewhere out in the Pacific Ocean. He broke off course during the mission. I mean, I think there were a couple other jets flying with him, test runs, checks, that kind of thing. What Jeremy told me was something caught his eye off in the distance, so he went to check it out. He broke off from the other jets. So as he was getting closer, he notices that it's an island out in the middle of nowhere, like nowhere. The thing of it was the radar didn't even pick it up. Like, it was not there.
There's no land showing on his radar?
Correct. However, that's possible. So when he went to take a closer look, he noticed there was something extremely reflective on the island, like almost piercing to his eye, he said. Very bright. He just thought the whole thing was extremely odd. So after the mission, he was like talking to the other pilots that were out there with him that day, and apparently none of them followed him to the spot. And when he tried to tell them what he saw, they basically told him to shut his mouth.
What do you mean?
They didn't want him to talk about it. They told him that even if they did believe him, that it's crazy talk. He was military. I mean, if he goes to his seniors and tells them there's a body of land in the middle of the ocean, undetected by radar with shiny objects on it, I don't know, he's gonna get tossed for mental incompetence. They'll say he's unfit to fly. The Navy death sentence.
Right.
So he keeps his mouth shut. Keeps it to himself.
Did he try to go back?
No, never did. Aircraft carrier moved north out of reach after that day, so if he would have broken off that far, he would have been canned.
Did he take photos or video by chance?
No. He said he just didn't think about it at the time. Happened really fast. Plus, flying a single cockpit Hornet, you kind of have your hands full. But he did take note of the coordinates.
Do you have those coordinates by chance?
I do.
Would you mind sharing them with me?
Sure.
This is wild, Sadie.
I know, man. And I know either Jeremy is dead in that ocean, or he's on that island. Maybe fucking stuck there.
I have one last question, and don't take this the wrong way. I'm all ears on what you've told me, but did Jeremy suffer from any PTSD? Did he have any traumatic moments in the Navy or any mental issues you're willing to share with me?
That man was straight as an arrow. Steadfast. I mean, if he had PTSD, he never showed it around me. So I just don't believe it.
All right, thank you, Sadie. This is extremely helpful. Text me those coordinates.
Will do.
All right, we'll see you tonight.
Okay.
All right, bye.
Bye.
When I heard their conversation for the first time, I didn't know what to think of it. It honestly made me want to look into Sadie Mattox, her character, and what kind of person she was. This story seemed pretty far-fetched, in my opinion. Matthew keeps digging on his end. He eventually gets his rental car and heads into the city.
Wow. That phone call with Sadie was crazy. I definitely didn't see our conversation going that way. I'm just trying to wrap my head around all this. An island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, undetected by radar, and not located on any maps whatsoever. This just seems impossible. Science fiction. Or I'm dealing with something else entirely different here. Is Sadie lying to me? Is she leading me down a path further away from the truth of all of it? I want to dig a little deeper into who Sadie Mattox is.
Matthew arrives at his hotel. They give him an early check-in, and he begins looking into Sadie by reaching out to some local contacts. A great place to start? The San Diego Police Department. This is Detective Mark Bellinger, a retired detective who had worked the San Diego scene for over 30 years.
Hello?
Hey, Detective Bellinger, it's Matthew Hentges. How are you?
Hi, Matthew. Doing well, thanks.
Listen, thanks for taking my call, and thanks for doing this. Congratulations on your retirement, too, I wanted to mention.
Well, thank you. It's been a long time coming.
And well-deserved, I'm sure. Listen, I know your time is valuable, and I want to let you get back to enjoying life instead of dealing with police work still.
No, that's okay. It's kind of funny. Feel that in a way you're never retired. There's always cases that we can never let go of until we solve it. So those linger on even through retirement. And I constantly thinking about the unsolved and the cold cases.
I completely understand that. And I'm sure it's extremely difficult to let go of some of those. But detective, I think you know that I'm calling about the Jeremy Wilson missing persons case.
Right.
Can you tell me a little bit about your involvement with that case?
Well, It's one of the cases that was a handover case for me. My retirement was coming up about a week or so after I was assigned to it. The idea was to lead it out of the gates and hand it over fully to an assistant detective after my retirement.
And is that Detective Miller that you're speaking of?
That's right, Detective John Miller.
Okay, and is that normal for a case to work like that with a handover?
Well, let's just say it's not uncommon. It all just depends on timing with certain detectives and their plans for retirement. Detective Miller and I worked it together out of the gates, and it's the first case that he's taking charge of and leading. So the idea was for me to kind of mentor the transition.
I see. And can you tell me more about the case from what you were involved with?
Well, it's still ongoing, from what I understand. We didn't have a lot of hard evidence for us to start with. For instance, we got a call from his fiancée, Sadie, I believe it is.
Yeah, Sadie Mattox.
That's right, Sadie Mattox. Now, she called and gave a missing persons report on Jeremy. This is about, well, over a month ago now.
Okay.
And following up with her, how can I put this properly? Her story seemed a little wacky.
In what way?
Well, she talked about how Jeremy had gone to Mexico to meet another guy, and he was looking for some island or something.
Is this an island in the Pacific Ocean?
That's right.
Yeah, I've heard about this island. So Sadie claims to have the coordinates of this so-called island. Did she relay that information to you?
She did, yes. And we checked. There's nothing there. No island, just the Pacific Ocean.
Right. And so did you just look at Google Earth or something like that to check for it?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. So looking at the timing of things here, Sadie said Jeremy left for Mexico on July 11th. He went down through Tijuana, and July 13th, 2 days later, was the last contact she had with him.
That sounds about right. The only hard evidence we recovered from this case was video surveillance of Jeremy going through the border at the checkpoint from the U.S. into Mexico.
On July 11th.
Yes, on July 11th.
And was Jeremy with anyone in the car by chance?
He was alone at the time of the video footage going through the checkpoint there.
So we have proof that Jeremy entered Mexico, but after that, nothing. Did you attempt to contact Mexican authorities?
Yes, we did. Now, however, that being a foreign country, we do bump up against, let's call them procedural differences, communication issues, that sort of stuff. We put out a missing persons report to the Mexican authorities, but didn't really get much of any communication back with them or any leads whatsoever regarding Jeremy's whereabouts or even any sightings through eyewitnesses. Now, keep in mind, our hands do get tied a bit dealing with folks entering another jurisdiction, and in this case, even an entirely different country.
Understood. So let me ask you, when did Sadie call the police and report Jeremy missing? Do you have that timing?
That's another, well, I guess I'd say a bit of a red flag for us. She did not report Jeremy missing until, let me look through these notes here, July 19th.
She didn't report until July 19th. Wow, so that's 6 days after she last heard from Jeremy on July 13th.
That's correct.
Did Sadie share with you Jeremy's text messages and voicemail that he left her on that day, July 13th?
She did,
And you guys reviewed that?
yes. However, there was no metadata on those photos to lead us toward any possible location, only timestamps.
And what about the voicemail? Are you able to triangulate where that call may have been coming from?
We've sent requests to the Mexican authorities for that information as well. However, as far as I know, we've not received anything back from them.
And the phone companies here, they can't help with that directly?
Well, what has to happen is his U.S. provider needs to send the request down through Mexico. And that's proving to take longer than anybody had hoped for. Once again, it's the different jurisdiction on this matter that really is hampering the speed of the process in this case.
I see. Uh, and so what about Jeremy's car? Has there been any information leading to its last known location?
As far as I understand, his car has not been located. Outside of the border crossing video, we've not received any information in regard to Jeremy's car.
Okay. Is Sadie Mattox a person of interest?
I can't really get into the details of an open case. That would be something that Detective Miller might be able to discuss with you, but he would likely give you the same response at this time.
Yeah, and I've tried to reach out to Detective Miller, but haven't had any success connecting with him, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's a busy guy. I wouldn't necessarily point fingers or single out Sadie, but want to keep all options open during investigations like this. But I will say there's also a history of some domestic abuse instances in the past between Sadie and Jeremy. Now, that information is public in police reports.
So Jeremy was abusive to Sadie.
Well, the other way around.
Really?
Well, Sadie does have a history of drug use and domestic violence, yes.
Was she arrested in the past?
She was arrested once for drug possession at a traffic stop a couple of years ago and did some time in a rehab facility for substance abuse recovery.
She used hard drugs?
Um, I don't want to disparage Sadie, and I don't know specifics of any types of drugs on that case, but yes, she did have some history there.
I see. Okay, and tell me more about the domestic abuse, if you can.
Well, there are a few police filings regarding instances of verbal and physical abuse by Sadie Mattox toward Jeremy Wilson.
And was she arrested for that?
She was never arrested during those instances. Jeremy did not press charges from my understanding.
Okay, and so then how did police become involved?
Well, two of the instances were in public, so you're just dealing with witnesses there. And the police were called to their home a couple of times after neighbors called and voiced concerns over, yelling and screaming coming from inside the apartment.
So Sadie would hit Jeremy?
In the instances in public, there were witnesses that corroborated that, yes.
In the instances where police were called to the apartment?
Police reports mentioned marks and scratches on Jeremy's face, but no visible bruises, markings, or otherwise on Sadie.
Okay. I'll just flat out ask this. Do you believe Sadie was involved in Jeremy's disappearance?
I can't comment on that again, with this being an open case. Another option that can come up in cases like this is a possible runaway situation.
Meaning Jeremy fled an abusive relationship?
Correct.
Do you believe that's what happened?
I'm just not sure.
So, Detective Bellinger, let me ask you this question instead. What is your take on Sadie Mattox? What did you gauge from speaking with her? Who are we dealing with here?
I think Sadie is a troubled person. She's had the drug and violence issues in the past, and so you can take from that what you may. She's got a bit of a hot temper. Having said that, use your best judgment while looking into the case, and if I were you, I would tread very lightly with her.
Matthew's call with Detective Bellinger is, to say the least, revelatory. Getting to know who Sadie Mattox truly is before his meeting with her will only help Matthew ask the right questions when face to face with her. allowing him to see behind the veil of who he's truly dealing with, opening up an additional avenue of what possibly has happened to Jeremy.
Saturday, August 17th, 2024. It's 1:36 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So, what I just discussed with Detective Bellinger is making my head spin. This opens up a whole new world of possibilities on what happened to Jeremy. But I'm wrestling with the other bits of evidence that I'm looking at. Like, what about the text messages Jeremy sent? Why would he send Sadie selfies at sunset? And the voicemail. Why leave that voicemail if you're running away from someone? Was Jeremy creating an elaborate plan to make it look like he disappeared? To get away from Sadie? So she wouldn't come looking for him? Did Jeremy fake his own death? Did he vanish into the Mexican night to start a new life somewhere? Or something more sinister, an unintentional ending? Did Sadie have anything to do with this? Would this woman I'm about to meet face to face have the courage to make her fiancé disappear? And what is her ultimate motive for doing so? Would she send Jeremy to meet a contact in Mexico? A contact that had nefarious plans for Jeremy? But what would make Jeremy go to Mexico if that was the case? How would she convince him to go meet someone in Mexico? Unless Jeremy was running drugs, getting them for Sadie. I don't know. Was she lying to me all along about that? It was a little strange how she just came out and said that, out of the blue during our call, bringing up that Jeremy wasn't running drugs for the cartel or anything like that. I never asked her that question. And why did she wait 6 days before reporting Jeremy missing? That doesn't make any sense to me. Is Sadie the kind of person that is capable of doing something horrific to someone so close to her? Am I about to meet a murderer?
Next time, on the island in the Pacific.
All right, Sadie just texted me those coordinates to the so-called island. Would he have just split, run away from Sadie? Mexico is close though, and if you wanted a clean escape, it would be a decently easy thing to do. What is that thing? I am standing in front of a massive book that looks very old. It's literally titled A Book of Old Maps. What is that? In one of the police reports, an eyewitness says they saw you smack and punch Jeremy in the head.
Listen, man, are you treating me as a suspect here? You think I had something to do with Jeremy's disappearance?
I didn't say that.
But you're thinking it.
Music contributors are listed in the show notes. Please like, share, and follow to help support this podcast. And leaving a positive rating will also help get Jeremy's story to more people. This podcast is produced by Steel Valley Productions